Hey, how's it going? This is Jerry Haron here to make another YouTube video. It is now time for another Jerry Haron read-along, in which today is June the 4th, 2023, and I thought I'd read you another book. And the book you're reading is one of my favorite books from my childhood. It's a Bearstain Bears book. I enjoyed Bearstain Bears as a kid. I grew up with those books growing up as a kid. I had all of them growing up, and this is one particular book I had. I remember playing the CD-ROM game for my living books I used to borrow from my local library all the time. It is The Bearstain Bears Get in a Fight by Stan and Jan Bearstain. Yep, in this episode, it's about brother and sister bear getting into a big fight, and everybody gets into fights, but you have to learn to take a deep breath and work out that fight. Like, I've gone to fights with my family before, and it happens. Families and friends get into fights, but then you have to learn how to work it out. So let's not waste time. Let's get going and start with this book, shall we? Good. Okay. The Bearstain Bears Get in a Fight by Stan and Jan Bearstain. Here's the intro here. When two small bears don't get along, the grown-ups worry what went wrong. There's the inside title. And Mom Bear's trying to talk to sister, and Brother is talking to Pop, and Pop Bear's trying to talk to Brother, but doesn't look like good things are happening. They're not very happy, so therefore they can't really talk to each other. All right. Most mornings in bear country, the sun rose to greet the day, and the mockingbird sang its copycat songs outside an upstairs window of the bear's treehouse. And inside the treehouse, brother and sister bear would wake up. Brother and sister usually got along very well. They took turns nicely with the bathroom. They said please and thank you at breakfast. They often sat together on the school bus, and after school they worked together happily on their special project, their own backyard treehouse. But one gray morning, brother and sister didn't get along well at all. Maybe it was the weather, or maybe it was because the mockingbird slept late. But whatever it was, brother and sister bear got into a big fight. Sister bear opened her eyes and stretched. Then she sat up and let her legs dangle over the edge of her bed, right in brother bear's face. She didn't do it to be rude. It was just one of those things that happens with bunk beds. Yeah, I could tell brother bear is mad. I would not like it. Someone put my feet in my face. If it was an accident, I wouldn't be happy. But still, I would not fight over it. But still, not a good thing to happen in the morning. But that morning, brother was not in a very good mood. Sister, he shouted, get your dopey feet out of my face. My feet aren't dopey, and they're not in your face, she shouted back. Get your dopey face out of my face, snarled brother. You shut up, snapped sister. And before brother could answer, she skipped into the bathroom ahead of him. She took a very long time, brushing her teeth, washing up, and brushing her fur. You better come out of that bathroom, shouted brother, banging on the door. Brother Bear, said Papa, coming out of his bedroom, you know better than to shout at your sister. But she's taking too long in the bathroom, complained brother, and she's doing it on purpose. Yep, she's doing it on purpose. She's doing it to be rude because they're not getting along. When brother raised his fist to bang on the door again, it opened, and out came sister all spruced up. Good morning, Papa, she said, as nice as you please. Grrr, said brother. Brother and sister didn't say please and thank you that morning at breakfast because they weren't speaking to each other. And they didn't sit together on the school bus. Sister sat in the front and brother sat way in the back. That afternoon, they made a line down the middle of their backyard treehouse to show which house was whose. It wasn't much fun sitting up there in their treehouse, not speaking, especially when it began to rain hard. Definitely not a good idea to sit in a tree during a rain, especially when there's lightning. You can get electrocuted. Later, they kept on being mean by taking back the things they usually shared. Sister took back her modeling clay, which brother had made into dinosaurs, and rolled it into one big lump. Brother took back his trucks and planes and put them on the top shelf where sister couldn't reach them. They got so angry that they forgot they weren't speaking and began shouting at each other, even louder than before. Then Papa Bear lost his temper and began shouting at them to stop shouting. The neighbors didn't know what was worse, the big storm or the racket coming from the bear's house. Mama had quite enough. She put two fingers on her mouth and whistled very, very loudly. Papa and the cubs were so surprised that they stopped shouting. Papa and the cubs were so surprised that they stopped shouting. I didn't know you can whistle like that, Mama, said sister. Tweet. Well, I can't, and I can also tell you, said Mama sternly, that I've quite enough of this foolish fighting. Why, I doubt you two even remember what you're fighting about. The cubs tried to remember, but they couldn't. Mama took the cubs into her lap. Everybody gets into an argument once in a while, she said, even folks who love each other very much. You and I don't have arguments, said Papa. Oh, yes, we do, said Mama. No, we don't, argued Papa. We're having one right now, said Mama, about whether or not we have arguments. While Papa fought that one over, Mama went on to say that occasionally arguments are part of living together. We get angry, even call each other names, and say things we really don't mean. And after a while, it's over. Like the storm, asked Sister. The rain had almost stopped, and the sun was beginning to shine through the clouds. Yes, said Mama, like the storm. Look, said Papa, the sun shining on the last of the rain that had made a rainbow. A rainbow is something very beautiful that happens after a storm, said Mama, looking at the cubs. You mean like making up after a big fight? Sort of, said Mama. So Brother and Sister Bear hugged and made up, and got along just beautifully until the next time anyway. And that's the end of our story. I hope you like the Bearstain Bears Get in a Fight. Right? It's one of my favorite Bearstain Bears books growing up. See you in my next video. This is Jerry Haron signing off.